want to say something. That's Jerry Hannon. Now, you kind of are involved in an ongoing
He'd been waiting in the rafters. He'd been waiting for 20 minutes. He drove from Limerick. I've drove from Limerick. Frank, you're not going to fucking censor me on this one, you can't. 20-minute interview.
Yeah, it must be one-sided. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yes,
you
do.
wrote a
know
book called
everything about it, Frank.
Frank.
You have been peddling lies
about
Limerick for the last 2.5 years. In every television station, in every newspaper, you have told lies about Limerick, about your mother, about Teresa Carmody, about Willie Harold. You have done nothing but lied. You are a liar. You are a self-confessed liar. Teresa Carmody was 3 days away from her death when you wrote in your book that you had sexual intercourse with her. You never mentioned anywhere in your book
that it was with her consent.
It was with her consent. Was it with her consent, Frank?
Was it with
Was it with
There
her
was no
consent?
Teresa Carmody. It's a made-up name.
It's not a made-up name, Frank.
You named her mother. You're going to tell more
lies
lies now, are you?
There was no
Okay, that's number one.
Teresa
Number
Carmody.
two,
Teresa Carmody
Teresa
Carmody is a made-up name. Made-up
young
name,
lady.
lady.
You will never
You are
know.
a liar.
You are
You're a liar. Number two, Frank McCourt.
Why are you so
obsessed with me? Because Frank, Jesus Christ in heaven.
How old are you, by the way?
Irrelevant.
How old are you?
Irrelevant. You hammered your mother. You depicted your mother as a lazy, good-for-nothing whore.
That's what you
Which you
depicted
picture your mother as. You're your mother an apology. Teresa Carmody's parents. Teresa Carmody's family, at least, are watching into this tonight. You owe them an apology. Sorry, I drove all the way from Limerick. I drove from Limerick. I drove from...
I want to make
Make the third.
You've
Censored me before, Pat. You're not censoring me again.
When did I censor
Number
you?
three,
Oh, you
you interviewed me, you gave me a 20-minute
interview.
and without explanation you chopped it on your radio program.
We often chop.
That's
Pieces for length.
that's
Absolutely.
number three. Number three, Frank.
Number three.
Why,
If
this
you've
miserable childhood that you had in Limerick, this so-called miserable childhood that you've peddled your lies all over the world, right? Miserable lanes of Limerick, miserable childhood, miserable people of Limerick, misery, the whole flipping way. If that's the case, why did you not discuss your well-paid employment with Jackie Brosnan? Why did you not discuss your years with St. Joseph's Boy Scout movement? You never discussed it.
Okay,
but the
for the
same
same reason I didn't discuss.
Was the elite
For the same reason I didn't.
You've had enough
time now.
Hang on, Jerry, can I just
You
ask you...
are
A liar.
Okay, you've made your
You
point.
are a liar.
Jerry, can I ask you one question? And I think it's the reason Frank was asking how old you were, is that he's writing of a time from before you were born.
Frank, you're
Pat, you've heard
you're a
journalist.
journalist.
You've heard the research.
I've interviewed over 70 people that are contemporaries of Frank McCourt. I interviewed Moira Gallagher. She described Angela McCourt as the angel of the lanes.
Can I also
Angela
suggest
McCourt.
that the late Jim Kemmy thought that Frank...
How confusing it gets here now, all these names. You've gone from Moira Gallagher to the angel of the lanes, and then Pat's chiming in with... But the late Jim Kemmy said that Frank's book was an accurate portrayal of the way things were at that time. Pat, with all due respect, Pat, Jim Kemmy is a close friend of Frank McCourt. No, he's not. I met him just before he died. So you're a liar. I met him just before he died. Sorry, just one sec.
The angel of the lanes.
Can I also
Angela
suggest to you
McCourt.
that the late Jim Kemmy thought that Frank's book
Jim
was
Kemmy
an
is
accurate description of the way things were
Jim
in the
Kemmy.
Limerick of their mutual youth?
Jim Kemmy, with all due respect to him, was a very close friend of Frank McCourt.
No, he wasn't. I didn't meet him
Yes, he
till
was.
just before he died.
He was.
I met him
Frank,
just before he
died.
died. So you're a liar.
So you're a liar.
I met him just before he died.
I can't believe a word.
didn't
can't
know
believe a word.
Jim Kemmy.
Jim Kemmy. Jim Kemmy.
I'm not sure who the audience are applauding, by the way, but I must let Frank get back in from the charges to respond to the charges you've made.
The name Teresa Carmody was a made-up name because I wasn't going to name the person in the book.
The name Teresa Carmody was one I made up. because I was not going to name the actual
The
person.
name of the girl in
Bavaria.
You seem
Used
to have a morbid fascination
with
I do. I like
necrophilia.
women.
for
Necrophilia.
I don't mind. I like women.
Women.
Necrophilia.
I love
Women.
women. I'm mad
Mad
about
about
women.
I've been married 3 times. I'm
and the
infatuated.
one I'm married to now is going to last forever
Women.
because I'm infatuated with women.
Women
And to
who are
protect
3
my
minutes
own
away
wife,
from
I
their
make
death.
up a false name. I don't know why you're so obsessed with me.
Don't you have a life? Go ahead and live. Do something. Women.
Go ahead.
Women.
Find a cause. There are poor
people in Limerick.
Go and help the poor of Limerick. Don't obsess with me all the time. You're there. You're in a city in Ireland, south of Ireland, and you're obsessed with me. And I'm sure there are few people. When they sent out the casting call for the movie in Limerick, hundreds of people showed up. Then they brought their children to be in
Why did you lie about Willie
And if
Harrell?
they hated
the movie,
if they hated the book and the movie, why were they auditioning
about
Willie?
You said Willie Harrell.
Jerry.
You said Willie Harrell. You said
You said
go down. I
you
wanna go
said
down
Willie
there.
Harrell.
Because-
You said.
Because there's one thing I want to ask you,
This
and
man
it's
said-
hang on, it's the
this man
question.
said-
It's the
I made a
question.
mistake,
Hang on.
yeah,
Shh,
yeah.
shh. Most people watching this, he can't.
Hang on. Shh. You've made your point. Most people watching this have no idea of the people you're talking about. Shh. You've made your point. Look at robotic partridge, real-time partridge.
You
Because
said
there's one thing I want to ask you,
This
and
man
it's
said-
hang on, it's the
this man
question.
said-
It's the
I made a
question.
mistake.
Hang on.
Yeah,
Shh.
yeah.
Most people watching this have no
together.
idea of the people you're talking about because it's fine detail about Limerick. You've made your point that you think it's very inaccurate. But what
It's
I'd
liar,
really like to know
not
is
inaccurate lies.
why you are so obsessed. I mean, the latest book is called
called
Tis.
Tis.
You're bringing
Yeah,
out
but
a book
it's
called
called
Tis.
it's called Tis in my ass.
Okay, I wasn't given the full title, but okay,
Hey, look,
Tis in my ass.
you could use the dumb file for tis because it's a tis. It's called tis in my ass.